live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Dunkin Latte Lounge. My name is Maxwell from Z100, but it's not about me because the amount of talent that is to the left of me here is quite amazing. And here to celebrate the release of a new album and to give us a little bit of that, give it up for Andrew McMahon, please.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging. And before we started rolling here, you have a flight to catch pretty soon. So, I mean, gosh, are we going back home after this?
I am going back home. Yeah.
What's it gonna be like to finally step foot into your own house?
It's gonna be really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I love New York. I dabbled with the idea of living here once, and about a month later, I was back home.
Realized
Just like, no, I can't do this.
Yeah,
my energy matched with New York's energy is a recipe for disaster.
It's different here, man.
Yeah.
But you've been all over the country. You've been all over the world, man. Yeah. What is it that is still a little special about New York to you? Like, what are those things that you love when you get to meet up with your family and your friends that are here?
It's the energy. It's just the constant availability of everything all at once. You know what I mean? I just think that to be able to walk outside and just feel that vibration, right? And this city vibrates unlike any other in the world.
No matter what time of the day
That's
or
right.
night. I mean, we were rapping about how, you know, a show can be done at around 11, but then, no, the night still continues on until about 3 or 4.
Yeah, but I mean, I think too, just because I do have so many dear friends, and there are a lot of musicians that I work with that live out here, and it's like every time I'm here, it's a reunion. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And it's a chance to spend real time. And we've been obviously working the record, so most of the days have just been running from place to place, and the pressure valve gets hit around midnight. Yeah.
Would do those moments, those late nights, do those conversations that you have, catching up with friends that you've worked with in the past, maybe, or just the pure energy of New York City, start to fester a little bit in your brain and make its way into new music?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's probably one of my biggest songs is a tune called Fire Escape that was just basically a cataloging of a night out in New York, you know. And there's a song on this record called Submarine, which is a very similar sort of deal. So yeah, there's a lot of New York in what I do.
How cool is it to live these stories, then to sit behind the piano or maybe wherever you go to create music and watch them come to life and come to fruition as songs and see the world really connect to these stories?
I mean, it's amazing. So I think for me, why I do this is twofold, right? The first reason is by playing the piano and sort of, you know, just opening my subconscious up and putting it into a song. It's healing for me. It helps me sort of understand where I am and chart my place in the world at that moment. But the second part is to actually have that feeling turn into a connection with whether it's a whole audience or a small audience or one person. It for me is sort of the way that I make contact with the world. Is how I communicate, you know?
We've seen it, and everyone who's dialed in here online and watching, we've seen it. We've been there to hold up a giant rubber duck at a point in time.
Oh, you have been there for that, haven't you?
We've been there to see crowds go absolutely crazy and to sing along. From your vantage point on stage, how does that feel in your heart as a songwriter to watch these connections truly happen and to know to yourself, you know what, I think I'm doing a pretty good job here?
I mean, it's home, you know. It's a weird thing to say that I think there's the one place for me where I just feel like completely myself is on a stage in front of people singing songs. You know, when it's good and when it is good, yeah, there's just no sort of better, more peaceful feeling. Yeah.
Nothing like it. Let's dig into this new album here. Tilt at the Wind No More. Wait, how did this? First off, let's start with the story because there have been times where I've tried to tilt at the wind and I've had to use it to keep me up simply because I'm like only 150 something pounds, and when that wind is whipping throughout New York City, dude, it could blow you over. But what does this song title and these stories mean to you, Andrew?
Well, I think, look, I knew I was working on this record sort of heading into, you know, not just my 40th year, but my also sort of the time where I could finally say it was like I've been on the road and making records for more than half of my life, right? Wow. And so it had been 4 or 5 years since I put out an album. The pandemic kind of like took me out of a creative space. Like I decided to pivot, and I wrote a book during the pandemic, and I stopped making music for a minute. And so coming back to music, it was really, it felt to me like I wanted to say something important. I wanted to say something that really reflected how I'd grown, how I'd changed, you know, and an album that really reflected my journey. Ultimately, I think a lot of the songs on the record are me looking back at moments in my life when maybe I wasn't at my best, or maybe I was in the middle of a challenge, and I think there was another era where I would have given myself a lot of judgment and criticism for those moments, but where
maybe
I'm at,
even quit or paused at that time.
Yeah, and now, now looking back, I go, no, that's like, these things shaped you, right? And so because so much of the album has this reflection of maybe struggle or difficulty, it also is about making peace with that. And so for me, not tilting at the wind is really a way of saying, like, I actually kind of want to flow.
Just go with it.
Yeah, I want to like just.
Unless
I want to get carried for a
155
minute.
pounds like us, and we'll get carried for a couple of blocks maybe, but after,
It's aspirational though, because I definitely don't do it very well all the time. But I put these things out there as a way to say, what you should be doing.
I think we have to talk a little bit about the pandemic and how you made that pivot and how you decided to. Well, you gave us some IG lives, and there were some of these at home and some of these online concerts and things. But then, as you mentioned, writing a book. Did you ever consider yourself an author?
Well, I've always written. I mean, what I do for a living is write. But the idea of putting a book together first kind of arrived after like my recovery from leukemia. It's like a lot of people were very interested in that story. And frankly, I hadn't made peace with that experience so early into my recovery, so I kind of put that on the back burner. And then I stumbled into this, I was kind of going through something with my family, and I started writing a story through the eyes of like me talking to my piano, right? Wow. And it was this really, really emotional and kind of beautiful piece, this essay of me like communicating with these pianos that I like they were my friends, and in a lot of ways they have been. They've sort of,
been there for you.
Yeah, the piano. Yeah, the pianos that have been with me the longest have really carried my secrets and my hopes and all of that. And so I got that idea, and this is probably late 2019, and I was like, I think I can tell the story of my life so far through this lens of these pianos. And then the pandemic hit, and my wife looked at me, I think on day 2, and she was like, this is the moment. You have the freedom and the time and the flexibility to write. Just go do it. And so that's how I spent, that year and a half. I just sat in my room. Yeah. And I also sat in a motel room in Joshua Tree quite a bit and just wrote.
And like most of us, we took direction from our significant other to do something. Mm-hmm. So congratulations on heeding that word and saying, yes, babe, I'm going to do this. This is my time to listen and make it happen. And I want to ask before we move on to just the effects of social media and how that's been a part and a change and a little bit of a dynamic. But you mentioned the pianos. Do they have names?
They don't have names. My creativity stopped short at piano 1, piano 2, and piano 3, and the book's called 3 Pianos.
Let's dive in a little bit about social media, man. Being a part of this new wave of how to connect with people, how to reach fans, listeners, tell stories through a tweet. I don't know, an IG. Are we doing TikToks? Videos, things. But what's it like? What's it like to adopt that as a part of your repertoire now? And
it's painful. It's so tough, painful. Okay, so here's the funniest things. Like I've always been like a super late adopter of technology. Period. Since I was a kid. I did not start texting until texting became like full
mandatory.
Screen. Yeah. I was like, people are like, T9. I'm like, no, I'm good. You guys just call me. So I've always been sort of reluctant. I've loved Instagram since it came out. To me, the way the genesis of Instagram about photography, I love photography. So that's the one platform where I've really connected and stayed connected. Like you said, during COVID, I was like, within days, I was like, I'm just going to put up concerts at the house. And we were doing concerts for thousands of people on Instagram Live, So this era, it's like, when I'm on the road, I'm like, I'll put stuff up all day. But when I'm at home, honestly, I just want to be
present.
Well, I want to be at home with my family and so you can talk to my texting label folks over here who are like, he's talking about social media again.
My bad, guys.
Yeah, I'll get on a phone call and they'll be like, dude, you had a TikTok go viral. Could you do another one tomorrow? And I'm like, we just had one. Let's wait a week. But I also. Look, I respect it. The one thing that this business has always done in the 20-plus years that I've been in it has changed. There is nothing constant or normal about what we do. The only constant for me is I just got to try and write a great song and meet the game where the game is, so that I can continue to grow my career and grow my fan base. So yes, I'm a reluctant TikToker, but I am doing
But it happens
Yeah,
from
yeah, it
time to
happens
time.
from time to time.
Well,
yes.
the thing that I really love about social media, especially when the creators are people who are so genuine and who are so dialed into who they are, is just another opportunity for us as fans to connect.
Yep.
And that's what your music does at the right at the foundation of it. So I think it's time for us to not think about TikTok and social media. Well, I don't mean don't come for
They're
me.
going to be overturning this
Yeah.
performance into a TikTok.
Don't come for us, but I think it's time for us to really connect, man. So you got some songs for us. Obviously, Sit Behind the Piano.
Here I am.
That doesn't have a name.
No, this is borrowed piano.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
It's Andrew McMahon from our Dunkin Latte Lounge. Give it up one time, guys, here in the theater.
Thank you.
Got it.
We were holed up in the corner of a cowboy bar when you asked me to dance. I couldn't answer. But I met you on the floor and we left in a fight. And the cab back home, all I could think about was second chances. We have skirted lines and endings. We have flirted with disaster. You were there in the beginning. I'll be there for what comes after. The stars that fell for you left holes in my roof. The stars that fell for you, they fell for you and I'm falling too. They fell for you and I'm falling too. I was looking for a lighter in a bedside drawer. Found a picture and a pack of matches from another lifetime. Yeah, I'm missing the parade, but I'm done with the war. There's a hole in this sweater, you told me that you're gonna patch up. And we have skirted fires and floodplains. We flirted with disaster. I was there in the beginning when you were swinging from the rafters. The stars that fell for left holes in my roof. The stars that fell for you, they fell for you and I'm falling too. They fell for you and I'm falling too. A world without color is a world without. A world without color is a world without you. A world without color is a world without. A world without color is a world without. A world without color is a world without you. The stars that fell for you left holes in my roof. The stars that fell for you, they fell for you and I'm falling too. They fell for you and I'm falling too. A world without color is a world without. A world without color is a world without. A world without color is a world without you. The stars that fell for you left holes in my roof. Thank you. We're just gonna sing songs that are at the very top of my range at the very earliest part in the day, and we're just gonna see how it goes. Okay, this is gonna be the program. I wrote this song. A lot of this tune is kind of like looking back at the early days of like my courtship with my wife. So this is like 2002, weirdly it was like I was painting all these pictures with the words in the verse, and then it kind of like just smash cuts to the future, to the moment now, just going like whatever it was, all the good, all the bad, everything in between, like we're here and we're just gonna keep moving forward, you know. And I think a lot of this record is about acceptance and what it takes to find that next best thing, you know. And in my case, I've been super lucky that I've got an amazing family, and my little 9-year-old daughter Cecilia actually sang on this track with me in the studio. So it was kind of a fun day in the studio. It's called Smoking Ribbons. Felt the summer on my hand through the window. Think I knew it right then. I would never let you go. And everything we lost and everything we won, find your street of gold and drive it when you're young. Everything you break, every breath in my lungs. And hey, now we got one living. After all the smoke and ribbons, can't fight the time, it's marching on. And hey, now it's all forgiven. Good luck and bad decisions. I'll write the words if you sing along. If you sing along, I can feel you in my heart like an ocean. I'll let you drive my car. I'm never looking back again. And everything I have, no, I would never need. As long as you are here, as long as you can see that even when I'm hiding, yeah, I still believe that hey, now we got one living. After all the smoke and ribbons, can't fight the time, it's marching on. And hey, now it's all forgiven. Good luck and bad decisions. I'll write the words if you sing along. If you sing along. I could feel you in my heart like an ocean. I could feel you in my heart like a wave. Yeah, hey, now we got one living. After all the smoke and ribbons, can't fight the time, it's marching on. And hey, now it's all forgiven. Good luck and bad decisions. I'll write the words if you sing along. If you sing along. With the windows down, we watch the road erase. With the windows down, we watch the road erase. With the windows down, we watch the road erase. With the windows down. With the windows down, we watch the road erase. With the windows down, we watch the road erase. With the windows down, we watch the road erase. With the windows down. And hey, now we'll go on living. After all the smoke and ribbons, can't fight the time, it's marching on. Thank you so much. Is that crackle in? Are you hearing it in your ears, or is it just in the speaker? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I kept going. I was like, I definitely can't sing that again today. That was fun. Cool. We thought maybe it'd be cool to do like go old school. We have like some. So these gentlemen who just wandered in here, one of them actually saw something corporate perform at a battle of the bands when I was a junior in high school. We were kings of the battle of the bands. We won that. I retired and started hosting the Battle of the Bands after that. I was like, okay, well, now I'm gonna go play some nightclubs, and so yeah, I'll go way back. I'll go to like something corporate, sort of like a song that really is about being on the road for the first time, being like 18 and like just, I mean, it is such a dirty place to live, right? You know, you're in a van with your friends. And food is terrible, and you're like sleeping on top of each other. If you're in a hotel room, there's like 10 of you in there, and I loved it so much. And I think that's really the proving ground for being young and being in music, is like, how much do you love it? Do you love it like Taco Bell every day, love it kind of thing? Nothing against Taco Bell. I don't know. But well, I woke up in New York City from my sleep behind the wheel. I caught a train to Poughkeepsie, and time stood still. She wrote me a letter from San Diego to qualify her love. These flights connect through Arizona, but I think I'll stay stuck. Said, here I am. Said, here I am. Whoa. Well, I woke up in a car, traced away the fog so I could see the Mississippi underneath. I've never been so lost, I've never felt so much at home. Please write my books and throw away my keys. I woke up in a car. I woke up in a car. So I met a girl who kept tattoos for homes that she had loved. If I were her, I'd paint my body till all my skin was gone. She wrote me a letter as we passed through Rockford. She said she won't forget. Well, maybe I do, and maybe I don't, but I know I haven't yet. I said, here I am. I said, here I am. Whoa. Well, I woke up in a car. I traced away the fog so I could see the Mississippi underneath. I've never been so lost, I've never felt so much at home. Please write my books and throw away my keys. I woke up in a car. I woke up in a car. Maybe I could live forever if not ever I had known that you'd be waiting there whenever I am all alone. Said, here I am. Whoa. Well, I woke up in a car. I traced away the fog so I could see the Mississippi underneath. I've never been so lost, never felt so much at home. Please write my folks and throw away my keys. Well, I woke up in a car. I traced away the fog so I could see the Mississippi underneath. Never been so lost, I've never felt so much at home. Please write my folks and throw away my keys. I woke up in a car. I woke up in a car. I woke woke up in a car. Thank you so much.
Come on now, we can do a little bit better than that. Andrew McMahon, In the Wilderness. Hey, before we wrap things up here, man, from our Dunkin' Latte Lounge, I want to talk about the album and the cover art because it's really cool. Not only the colors, but what does it mean to you? Who's holding that person up? And this is a point in time where if you don't know what the album cover art, we'll enter it in post-production. Bloop, there it is. But the hands. Yeah. Who's holding someone up or who's reaching up? What does the artwork mean to you?
So for me, look, I knew that I wanted what I was creating to sort of have this like modern psychedelic sort of bent to the artwork. And we found this incredible artist, guy named Tyler Spangler, who was just taking that style in a new direction, right? And we kicked around a ton of ideas. He sent me an early version of it. It was before the color on it, right? And it was these two hands locked, right? At the point that we started, they were actually, it was a side image, and now it's this vertical image. And I was like, you're onto something there. And I think for me, what it hit me was this idea that so much of the music for this record is based in the idea of relationships, right? It's based in this idea that the people that you're surrounded by, the people that you love, you can carry them, they can carry you, right? Yeah. And they can also pull you down, you know? And so I think what I love is the ambiguity of the artwork, right? It's like, is this person holding somebody up? Is that person holding somebody down? But the art is this, really has this motion to it where I think that's the beauty, if you are willing to accept it in life, is just that it's a dance, right? Yeah. One day you're falling, one day you're getting pulled up, one day you're the person who's doing the pulling, and it's about but they're holding on,
They're holding on. See,
yeah.
I love how it's open for the interpretation. It's how we connect, how we relate to the stories you tell and make them our own. The artwork that you envision, the way that you interpret, the way that we as fans interpret also. I thought it was really amazing. And I was like, man, this is the one question I know I need to make sure I ask, Andrew. Yeah, but hey, in the last question that I do want to ask you, as we are here hanging in our Dunkin' Latte Lounge, our family with Dunkin', usually we ask a question, who would you like to have like a nice, iced coffee with? But here's the thing, is I feel like I want to switch it a little bit. Sure. If Dunkin' was to provide a giant inflatable donut for you to ride on in the crowd, what would be the topping on that giant inflatable donut?
Well, so I would go with, just to honor my kid, it's going to be like pink icing and sprinkles. Yeah, 100%. And I also think that would look really good in a crowd, just like a big iced pink sprinkled donut. But if you do that, and you're welcome to, because I will take you up on that challenge. Just make sure there's a bottom, that there's not a proper hole, because the ones without the bottom. Yep. I've fallen out of those, and I prefer not falling out.
Well, lastly, what does it feel like, and what does that mean to you more than just the fact that you get to be out there in the crowd, whether it be a giant iced donut or maybe it's a llama again, or maybe you know what I mean? It's something. But what does that mean to you to be that entrenched in the energy at the show and to see everybody there? Like we said with the album art, holding you up at that moment.
Yeah, so I think for me, what I've discovered over the years and really sort of leaned into really hard in this sort of wilderness era of my career is how often and how meaningfully can we break the fourth wall of the stage and make the show, and make the fans who are there at the show understand that they are the show too, right? Because I've had it in the past. It's like kind of like when cell phones became like ubiquitous, right? And all of a sudden everybody was just watching shows through their phones. Yeah. There was this brief era that was kind of uncomfortable, where it was just like you felt like you were on a TV screen, right? You're like it was almost like they're here and I'm here, and it was almost hard to get people to figure out that's cool, you're capturing the moment, but really the moment is you and me and this whole audience and being part of something. And it's gotten so much better since, but a part of that for me has been being in the crowd as often as possible, because it makes me feel like I'm a part of the crowd. It's not just I'm in a band and there's an audience. It's like, no, we're a gathering.
We're
right?
here together. Yeah, we are enjoying this moment. Yeah, being present in this time that we are never going to forget. I mean, I could tell you I'm sure have been so many people. I mean, haven't seen it before, but also I haven't had to hold your butt up through a frosted donut in the crowd. But I can imagine that person that has had to make sure that the raft doesn't fall is always going to remember that moment. And that's something that you don't get if you're sitting there looking through a camera phone.
Totally. And I do, I will say, I think a lot of that people have sort of figured out how to. It seems to me, and maybe it's just at my shows. Maybe it's because I'm always running around and making sure that you have to be paying attention. But I do feel like lately, over the past several years of playing shows, it's really been a lot more present. And I think that's been the goal of our production, is just to draw people into the moment, because it really is like that's what music is at its best. Is us making moments with songs as the background.
Dude. That's why he's a songwriter. I mean, you know what I mean? Just the poetic, that's what it is, and that's what's special. And I want to say thank you on behalf of all of us here at iHeartRadio New York and our family with Dunkin for giving us this moment to connect, for us to be here involved in this particular setting, and just really appreciate it and can't wait to catch you on tour. We talked off the mic about, Bonnaroo, some shows that we're going to see throughout the rest of this year, and to watch this album come to life. Just thank you to you, your family, your team for giving us who you have been musically for so many amazing years. So one more time, let's please make it loud.
Thank you, guys.
Andrew McMahon and the Wilderness. Here's the thing. The album is available now. Make sure you grab it. This is our Dunkin Latte Lounge. I'm Maxwell. See you later, y'all. One more time. Give it up for Andrew McMahon.
Live from the Dunkin Latte Lounge.